Welcome back to the deep dive. We sift through the noise, try to find the signal for you. And you probably remember, right? A few years back, NFTs just, well, exploded.
Oh, yeah. Hard to miss.
Exactly. Digital art selling for millions, those pixelated punks, celebs jumping in left and right. For a lot of folks, it felt like this wild, speculative bubble. Exciting, sure, but also really confusing.
Definitely confusing for many.
And then it seemed to kind of pop, didn't it? And look, if you dismissed it then as just a passing fad, you were definitely not alone. A lot of people did.
Understandable, given the hype.
But hold on. What if that initial chaotic phase was really just chapter one? Today, we're diving deep into the real story of NFTs now, how they've actually moved way beyond just speculation into some, well, truly transformative areas.
It really has been a profound evolution, I'd say. The core shift we're tracking, it's away from that pure hype, and towards something much more solid.
Like
tangible utility, genuine community building. And this is key, integrating these digital things with actual physical, real-world assets.
Yeah.
The whole landscape has matured, undeniably.
Exactly. Matured. And our mission for you today, we're digging into analyses like NFT 2025, from hype to utility and culture, and we're going to pull out the most crucial insights.
Yeah, I'll give you the shortcut.
Right, a clear, concise shortcut. So you can understand this rapidly changing space and walk away knowing not just what's happening, but really why it fundamentally matters.
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's flash back. 2021, maybe early 2022, that was peak NFT frenzy, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The fever pitch.
It felt like everyone everywhere was talking about it.
Right.
And the main story, the narrative was all about quick flips,
Buy low, sell high, fast.
Yeah, buy some digital thing one day, sell it for a ridiculous profit the next. The focus was almost entirely on those record-breaking digital art sales.
Oh, yeah.
Pure speculation. It really felt like a gold rush.
And like any gold rush, that kind of intensity is just not sustainable, is it? So what we've seen since is, well, a necessary market correction.
A correction, not a crash.
I'd say correction, yeah. The market basically stopped rewarding just quick, speculative wins. Instead, it started, slowly but surely, valuing projects that offered genuine utility.
Meaning
Real-world benefits, and projects that had deeper, more authentic cultural ties. So, yeah, I wouldn't call it a crash. It's more of a recalibration, shifting towards something healthier, more sustainable, where value isn't just fleeting hype.
Okay, and just to give a sense of the scale of that first wave, the numbers were pretty staggering.
They really were.
Our source material mentions market peaks with overall values hitting close to $364 billion. It's billion with a B.
Astonishing figure.
And peak monthly trading volumes around 27 billion. Those numbers just show how quickly the sector blew up and grabbed global attention and capital.
Totally. And while those peaks certainly made headlines, the market has settled into what you might call more normalized levels.
But normal doesn't mean dead.
Not at all. That's the crucial point. Normal here still represents really substantial value, ongoing activity. Like even in a quieter month, say August, the market still generated over $600 million in value.
600 million is still a lot of activity.
It absolutely is. So it's not a dead market. It's a maturing one. We're seeing far fewer of those pump and dump schemes.
Right.
And much more focus on value-driven transactions, especially within collections that offer clear, defined utility. Those million-dollar single NFT sales,
yeah,
they were common once. Now they're really the exception. That tells you the focus has shifted to broader, more sustainable value.
Okay, so that's the big shift then. It's really not just about digital scarcity anymore, just for its own sake. The value isn't purely in owning a unique digital file that just sits there.
Exactly.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think, for anyone still paying attention or maybe thinking about tuning back in.
Yeah, but what next phase?
So if it's not just digital collectibles, what can an NFT do now? How has its job, its function, evolved into something actually, useful?
Yeah, useful NFTs, that's the term catching on. And it describes tokens that actually grant you access to tangible benefits.
Tangible like?
Like getting into exclusive events or getting specific discounts, maybe unique digital content only holders can see, or even like a higher status within a community or brand ecosystem.
Okay, so real perks.
Real perks. And what's really innovative here is that these benefits often aren't static. They're not just a one-time thing. They can be updated, they can evolve over time.
Ah, so it's dynamic.
Exactly. It creates this ongoing, dynamic relationship between the project or the brand and the people holding the NFTs. It fosters continuous engagement that goes way beyond just buying something once. It kind of flips the old loyalty card model on its head, really.
That dynamic relationship idea sounds pretty powerful for brands. And okay, that leads us neatly into another really fascinating area you mentioned, real-world assets, RWAs.
RWA.
We're kind of used to purely digital stuff now, but how are physical things, stuff you can actually hold in your hand, how are they interacting with this digital NFT world?
Right. So RWAs, real-world assets, are essentially physical items that get brought onto the blockchain. They get tokenized.
Tokenized, meaning?
Think of it like issuing a unique digital certificate of ownership for that physical thing. But it's verifiable on the blockchain, its history can be transparent, and transferring ownership becomes much easier and more secure.
Okay, so what kind of physical things are we talking about?
Oh, it could be almost anything with value. Rare collectibles, high-end fashion items, trading cards, even potentially things like fractions of real estate eventually.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. By tokenizing them, you create this digital representation of ownership. And this process, it unlocks totally new ways to manage custody, provides that immutable proof of who owns it on a decentralized ledger, and it makes exchanging these things possible in ways that were just, well, unthinkable before for many physical goods.
So it's like giving physical items digital superpowers.
Kind of, yeah. A big implication here is unlocking liquidity, making it easier to trade assets that were previously hard to sell quickly, or maybe even democratizing access, allowing more people to own a piece of something valuable.
That really does bridge the digital and physical, doesn't it? It makes you rethink what ownership even means. It's not just the digital file, not just the physical item, but how that digital token can, like, enhance and verify and unlock new uses for both.
Precisely. It's about the connection between the two.
So let's pull back again, big picture. What does all this mean for actual, practical, real-world use? This isn't just theory anymore, right? Where are NFTs actually making a difference today?
Oh, absolutely not just theory. The landscape of use cases is incredibly diverse now, and it's growing fast. Our source material highlights several key areas where they're already delivering, significant value.
Okay, like what? Give us some examples.
Well, take loyalty and membership. NFTs are being used to create, different tiers of belonging within a community or for a brand.
Like a gold, silver, bronze membership.
Sort of, yeah, but potentially much more dynamic. Unlocking progressive benefits as you engage more, providing access to exclusive events or content. It's a level of engagement and proof of loyalty that traditional plastic cards just can't match. It turns customers into potentially real community stakeholders.
Right, that makes a ton of sense for building really dedicated communities. Okay, what about something almost everyone interacts with, like event tickets?
Ticketing and access. This is a big one. NFTs are, frankly, a game changer here. They allow for programmable tickets.
Programmable how?
Meaning you can build rules into them, like making them highly resistant to bots, which is a huge win against scalpers, snatching up thousands of tickets instantly.
Finally, okay, that's huge.
It is. Plus, they enable tracked resale. Every time that ticket changes hands, it's recorded on the blockchain, transparently. And organizers can even build in automatic revenue sharing for secondary sales.
So the original artist or venue could get a cut if the ticket is resold.
Exactly, creating totally new economic models for creators and venues. It's a massive upgrade from traditional paper or even standard digital tickets.
Wow, okay, that's a clear improvement. What about for creators themselves, managing their intellectual property, their IP?
Yeah, for co-creation and IP, NFTs are pretty revolutionary. They can be set up to facilitate things like open licenses,
Meaning
they can grant permission for fans to create content based on the original IP, like fan art or music remixes, and potentially even share in the revenue generated from that fan content.
seriously, so fans become collaborators.
Active collaborators, yeah. And stakeholders. Imagine a band releasing an NFT that lets fans remix their songs and earn money from it, with smart contracts automatically splitting the profits. That's a huge shift for how IP can work.
That could really democratize creativity, couldn't it? Amazing. Okay, what about areas like, say, education or fundraising? Social good type stuff.
Yeah, in education and fundraising, we're seeing interesting uses too. Things like participation tokens, NFTs, that acknowledge you completed a course or contributed significantly to a project. Proof of achievement, basically.
Like a digital badge, but verifiable.
Exactly. Verifiable and potentially carrying other benefits. We're also seeing NFT-backed scholarships, ways to do micro-sponsorships for individuals or research projects, and transparent treasuries, for funding initiatives.
Transparent treasuries.
Yeah, using the blockchain so everyone can see exactly how donated funds are being used, it brings a new level of accountability and engagement, which is huge for nonprofits or educational funds.
Transparency is definitely key there. Okay, shifting gears again, what about more experiential stuff like travel, tourism?
For tourism and hospitality, yeah, there are cool applications emerging. NFTs can act as digital passes, maybe offering dynamic upgrades like the more you interact with a resort or destination, the more perks your NFT unlocks.
Interesting.
Or token-gated local experiences. Your NFT might get you access to a hidden historical site, or a special tour, or a private cooking class only available to holders. It allows for really personalized, exclusive travel opportunities.
Creating unique experiences. I like that. And finally, let's loop back to where NFTs kind of first caught fire for many people. Fashion and gaming. How are things evolving there now?
Right, fashion and gaming, they're moving beyond just collectibles too.
Yeah.
We're now seeing more phygital items.
Digital. Physical and digital.
Exactly. Think physical items like maybe designer sneakers that come with a linked, verifiable digital twin, an NFT representing that item for your avatar to wear in a game, or the metaverse, or vice versa. It bridges your real wardrobe and your virtual one.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's also growing work on asset interoperability, meaning an item you own as an NFT in one game might have some utility or presence in another game or platform, breaking down those walled gardens. And we're seeing integrated seasonal drops, connecting digital scarcity with real-world product releases, creating these unique, multi-layered, collectible experiences.
Wow, the sheer range of these applications is pretty compelling. It really hammers home the point, doesn't it? NFTs aren't just this niche digital art thing anymore. They're actively weaving into all sorts of industries, events, education, fashion, travel, transforming how value gets created and exchanged.
It's becoming a versatile tool.
Okay, so for any brands listening, or maybe creators who are seeing this potential now and thinking, maybe we should explore this, what are the key steps? Where do you even start if you want to design an NFT that has this kind of real built-in utility?
That's a great question. Designing NFTs with actual utility, it really needs a clear strategic framework. You can't just jump in.
Right. Step one.
Step one, absolutely, is defining your objective. Crystal clear. What outcome do you want? Is it customer retention, increasing LTV lifetime value?
Right.
Is it lead gen, direct sales, or maybe just brand awareness? Without that clear goal, the project's just drifting.
Makes sense. Know your why. Okay, what's next?
Second, identify your target audience. Who is this actually for? And crucially, you need to recognize that not everyone is deep into crypto or blockchain tech yet.
So don't assume everyone has a wallet ready to go.
Exactly. Targeting a segment that might just miss the point because the tech is unfamiliar, well, that's a recipe for low adoption. You need to meet your audience where they are.
So clear purpose, know your audience, those are the foundations. What about the NFT itself, the user side, the tech?
Precisely. Third, you need to clearly spell out the benefits. What does the user actually get? These need to be concrete, valuable things. Exclusive access, real discounts, unique content, maybe that elevated status we talked about. Make it tangible.
No vague promises.
Definitely not. And fourth, you have to consider the issuance details. This gets a bit technical, but it's important.
Right.
Like, how does someone get the NFT?
Yeah.
Is the minting the actual creation of it on the blockchain? Is it free or do they pay? And is the NFT transferable? Can they sell it or give it away? These decisions really impact the secondary market possibilities and the overall value proposition for the holder.
Okay, so that covers the why, the who, the what, and the how of the NFT itself. But with any tech, especially something relatively new for many people, there's that other crucial piece.
Oh, yeah. And it's often the most underestimated piece.
Which is?
Meticulous user experience, UX management. I really can't stress this enough. It is absolutely vital to provide clear, simple guides, all the necessary resources, help new users figure out wallets, navigate transactions, overcome any of those friction points in the process.
Because if it's confusing or clunky.
Exactly. If the UX feels like a barrier, even the most brilliant project with amazing utility will just struggle to get broad adoption. It won't achieve that sustained success. Simplicity, clarity, and really robust support that's key to onboarding the next wave of users into this space.
That's such a powerful reminder. Cutting-edge tech still needs to be, well, usable.
Okay.
Intuitive, even.
Yeah.
Okay, but this brings up an important point, doesn't it? Despite all this utility, despite the market maybe being healthier, there are still risks involved here, right? It's not all smooth sailing.
You're absolutely right to raise that.
Yeah.
Despite the positive evolution, there are definitely key risks. Anyone getting involved needs to be aware.
Hmm.
Our source points to market volatility as still being a factor.
Prices can still swing.
They can still fluctuate significantly, yeah.
Mm.
Maybe not with the same wildness as the peak hype, but volatility is still there. Then there's the potential for fraud.
Scams and things.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
That exists in any booming digital market, right?
Hmm.
Scams, intellectual property theft, misrepresented projects. It's something to watch for.
Yeah.
Also, legal complexities.
Especially with those RWAs, I bet.
Exactly. Especially concerning RWAs, like the precise legal standing of digital ownership versus physical possession. Those rules are still being figured out globally, which creates some regulatory uncertainty. And, as we just talked about, poor user experience is still a risk to adoption. It remains a significant hurdle for mainstream acceptance.
Okay, so understanding those risks, volatility, fraud, legal gray areas, UX challenges, that's step one. But how can projects and users actually manage these? Are there practical ways to mitigate the dangers?
There certainly are, yes. And the more mature, serious projects are definitely implementing them. Practical tactics include things like conducting thorough audits
Audits of what?
of the smart contracts, the code that runs the NFT project on the blockchain. Auditing helps ensure they're secure, they function as intended, they don't have obvious vulnerabilities. Also, implementing really clear policies
Policies around.
around ownership rights, how transfers work, redemption processes, especially for RWAs. Clear rules build trust. And finally, providing robust, accessible support systems for users.
Helping people out when they get stuck.
Essential. Answering questions, helping them navigate the tech without getting frustrated. These measures, audits, clear policies, good support, they all help build trust and stability in what's still, a developing ecosystem.
Right. And if we connect that back to the bigger picture, it seems like a healthier market isn't just about having utility, it's also defined by maybe a maturing understanding of these risks and actually managing them proactively.
I think that's exactly right.
Building in those safeguards, creating clearer paths forward, turning those potential problems into more manageable challenges.
Yeah, it's part of the maturation process.
Okay. So you've just taken this really fascinating journey with us. We've seen how NFTs have morphed from what many saw as just the speculative craze into this really dynamic landscape, one that's now driven by practical utility, real community building, and this innovative blend of physical and digital with RWAs. It's a long way from just being about digital art price tags, wouldn't you say?
No. Oh, absolutely. Worlds away, really. The market is demonstrably evolving, moving towards sustainability, delivering tangible value. It's moved well beyond just, digital scarcity for its own sake. We're really entering an era where NFTs are becoming powerful tools.
Tools for what specifically?
Tools for engagement, for verifiable access, for proving ownership in ways that are indisputable across both the digital and the physical realms.
Okay. So for you, our listener, maybe here's a final thought, something provocative to chew on as you go about your day.
Leave them thinking.
Yeah. Consider how this whole concept of ownership, whether we're talking digital assets, physical things you possess, even your membership or participation in a community, how that very idea is being fundamentally reshaped, redefined by this evolution we've discussed. What might that mean for your future? Your interactions with brands, your role in communities you care about, even just the way you perceive and manage your own stuff. It's a future being built right now, and it feels like it's far more profound than just digital collectibles ever were.